Hey guys, I'm back. Today I really just wanted to take some time and give you a little bit more of my story. More specifically, I really wanted to share my meant to be story with my husband Wes. For those of you all who follow me on social media, you probably already know our whole story, and so you can go on to the next video or whatever. But for those of you who follow me on social media, you know that I am married to an awesome, awesome man named Wes. We say awesome, A-W-E-I-N. Anyway, and actually, if you really do follow me, you know that I'm in a wheelchair, and he is too. I was born with spina bifida, but my husband Wes was, he was in the Marines. Once a Marine, always a Marine, by the way. But he's a Marine, and he was home on leave and wrecked a motorcycle. He was he was 21. It was actually 20. He was 6 months to the date of turning 21. He was home on leave and was going way too fast on his motorcycle, trying to keep up with some friends. And basically, he lost control of his bike. He ramped a driveway. When he fell back down, his back hit the edge of the driveway, broke his back T12 complete. So he doesn't feel from the belly button down, essentially. I'll show you some pictures because it's actually pretty incredible that he survived. So I will use this as an excuse for a PSA to say, if you're going to ride a motorcycle, get a really, really good helmet, because him wearing a helmet was the difference between him being a splatter on somebody's random driveway and us having the life that we have together now. So wear your helmet. Don't be stupid. Don't be a stupid boy, especially. But no. Seriously, though, he wrecked his bike on September 24th, 2004, which was 6 months to the date of his 21st birthday. And about 9 months later, in July of 2005, he and his girlfriend at the time were outside my apartment. And they were hanging out with friends, and I mean, he wasn't there for me or anything like that. We didn't even know each other. But he and this girlfriend at the time were outside my apartment complex. And at the time, I had a tag on the back of my chair that said Hot Wheels. And he saw the tag, he saw me in the chair, and apparently I was the first girl in a wheelchair close to his age. So he said, "Hey, Hot Wheels." And I look over and, see this guy in a chair, and he's hanging out with friends, whatever. I go over and say hi or whatever. But we really didn't stay in touch after that. We talked about our wheelchairs. I talked to him about my apartment and how it was accessible and how, what I liked about it and whatever. And it was just a super casual conversation. It wasn't really uncommon from most of the conversations I have with people with disabilities, especially people in wheelchairs. So I really didn't think anything about it. We didn't exchange numbers. This was really before the time of Facebook. MySpace existed, but I mean, you didn't just give your number out to people like that. So after we crossed paths, he went his way, I went mine, and we didn't talk again. So 2 years pass, and when he and I originally met, it was July 2005. And then by this point, it was September 2007. I'm in a different apartment complex. I have completely different roommates, completely random roommates, by the way. These weren't even girls that I picked to live with. We just got paired up because that's college life at the time. I get a new roommate named Kelly. And, I've lived with Kelly for a couple of weeks, maybe a month at this point. And she says, you need to meet my sister's ex-boyfriend. I think you'd really like him. His name is Wes, and he's in a wheelchair too. It's like, okay, whatever, sure, I'll meet him. She said, okay, he's coming over tonight. He's moving to LA in about 4 or 5 days, but he really wanted to come hang out before he moves away. And keep in mind, LA is 2,000 miles away, all right? So I'm just, I've got my roommate who's, inviting her friend over essentially that I'll never see again, right? So shows up, and it's him. Except I didn't remember that it was the same person at first. He remembered me, but I didn't actually remember him. Sorry. But we hit it off, and we hung out a couple of nights, and he asked me out on a date on the second night, and we went out. He took me on a really, really nice date to Cheesecake Factory. And I helped him pack, and he moved. He literally got up and left. I mean, his life was already, he already has plans, and we only knew each other for a couple of days. Again, I really didn't expect anything to really come out of it beyond that. But I knew I really, really liked him. And I was pretty sure he liked me too. So then he moves. He finishes packing up all of his stuff, and he goes. He's 2,000 miles away, and he made the drive. It took him a couple of days with stops and taking his time and everything. And like day 2, I get flowers. It's like, okay. Because I really didn't know if I would ever hear from him, let alone, didn't know if we would end up doing the long distance thing. I knew I liked him, but I just didn't know. So he sent me flowers, and then we talked for a little while, and a couple of weeks into talking, or maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks into talking, he says, I'm going to send you some money. Get yourself a nice dress and a plane ticket. I want you to come see me in LA. It's like, okay, yeah, that's going to go over really well. I'm 23 at the time, and I'm thinking there's no way, like my family's going to agree to let me go 2,000 miles away to go see this guy that I spent a couple of days with. Everybody thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy, but I knew I liked him, and knew if I didn't go, I might regret it. And I knew that I had a plane ticket back, so I wasn't like I was going to be stranded in LA or anything like that. And I did. I went and spent a few days with him in LA, and we got together officially after that. And so we became a couple on October 12th, 2007, and it's, been over 10 years now. So I think I made the right decision. We ended up doing long distance between Tennessee and LA from October 2007 to May 2008. And in May, he basically said, well, if I can get you a job in LA, do you think your family would let you go? I was like, no way. No way, that's not going to happen. I was like, you can ask my mom, but she's not going to agree. And at this point, I mean, my whole family had met him. I had met his family. I knew I wanted to be with him. I knew I wanted to marry him. I knew I wanted him to ask me to marry him. So I put him up to talking to my mom. And she basically said, well, I know she'd be a lot happier there with you than she is here in Tennessee without you. So, I mean, she's an adult. And I did. I packed up all my stuff and left most everything in storage. Took what I needed. Had a couple of boxes shipped to LA, and he helped me finish pack up and move. And I did. I moved out to LA, and it was just me and him. And yeah, it was actually one of the best summers I've ever had my entire life. And we've pretty much been making memories like that ever since, and it's been awesome. And you know, like I said, I think I made the right decision. I was a stupid kid at the time too, but I knew if I didn't go, I might regret it, and I can't imagine my life now if I hadn't have gone. So, you know, sometimes you have to take the leap and do it, and if it's the right person, it works out. So anyway, so we ended up moving back to Tennessee in August of 2008, and then in November of 2008, he ended up proposing finally, and as a matter of fact, he ended up proposing in the exact place where I realized I was in love with him, which was actually at the time, weirdly, it was a bookstore at the time. Now it's a Container Store, but it was in the same place where we had our first date, in the same mall that the Cheesecake Factory was in. So just to kind of bring that to full circle and give him some thoughtful points, you know, he proposed in the place where I knew I fell in love with him, and not only that, but he knew it was really important for me to make sure that my family approved, which I knew that they did. I knew by this point it was kind of silly because I knew better. I knew that they loved him, but you know, he asked my family for permission. He asked my grandfather for permission, which was really important to me too, and of course they were fine with it, and he proposed, and I think he did all right. Ladies, what do you think? But anyway, yeah, it worked out, and you know, sometimes you just have to take the leap of faith, and you know, we have just a really great marriage, and I can't even imagine my life without the chapters that he's helped me create. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I will say, if you can, find yourself a Wes, not my Wes, but find yourself a Wes. Find somebody that treats you good, makes you feel good, makes you feel loved. Yeah, each and every one of you deserves it. I deserved it. He deserved it. And yeah, just be the best version of yourself that you can be, not only for somebody else, but more importantly for yourself, and the right person will come along and make your whole past completely worth every second of it. So anyway, thanks for listening to my story. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. And let me know what you think. Let me know what other videos you want to hear, and I will talk to you soon.